Los Angeles, California, April 22nd, 1993, Thursday afternoon, 2:30 p.m., Linda Lee Cadwell sits quietly on the worn leather couch in her living room. Cadwell sits quietly on the worn leather couch in her living room. She is 48 years old now. Threads of gray have begun to show through the black in her hair. She is dressed simply, a dark sweater, faded jeans, soft slippers, the kind of clothes a person wears when no one is expected, when there is no reason to perform, no reason to be anything except tired. The room around her is modest, not poor, but not luxurious either. Just a middle-class American home that has been lived in for years. A house shaped more by memory than money. Photographs cover the walls. Bruce in his prime, lean, powerful, eyes burning with that fierce and unforgettable intensity. Brandon as a baby, Brandon as a child, Brandon as a teenager, Brandon as a young man. Linda and Bruce on their wedding day, 1964, impossibly young, smiling with the kind of hope people only have before life teaches them how fragile everything is. The furniture is old, but comfortable. A coffee table marked with faint water rings from years of cups set down absent-mindedly. Bookshelves crowded with martial arts books, philosophy texts, scripts, family albums, and old papers that were never thrown away. Against one wall are several cardboard boxes. They are Brandon's, his clothes, his books, his notes, his private things, everything that came back after he died. 3 weeks ago, on March 31st, Brandon Lee was fatally wounded on the set of The Crow. A prop gun malfunction, a blank round, a bullet fragment lodged in the barrel. The force of the bike sent that fragment forward, like a real bullet. It struck Brandon in the abdomen. He was rushed to the hospital. Surgeons fought to save him. They couldn't. He died during surgery. He was 28 years old. 12 days ago, Linda buried her son. The funeral was huge. Hundreds came. Friends, family, colleagues, fans. People who loved him, people who admired him, people who barely knew him but felt his loss anyway. He was buried beside Bruce in Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle. Father and son, side by side. Both gone too young. Both taken before their lives had fully unfolded. Both men turned into legend before they were allowed to become old. Now Linda is alone in the house where Brandon grew up. A house full of memories, full of voices that no longer speak, full of the presence of two men who are now gone. For 2 weeks, she has avoided this moment, going through Brandon's things, touching what he touched, holding what he left behind, opening the boxes that now feel less like storage and more like evidence of absence. But grief has its practical demands. Eventually, the living must sort through what the dead leave behind. Linda leans forward and opens the first box. Clothes, t-shirts she remembers him wearing, jeans, a black sweater, a leather jacket he loved. She lifts the jacket slowly and brings it to her face. It still smells like him. Cologne, cigarettes, something deeper beneath that. Skin, movement, the quiet scent of a person you have known all your life. That is enough to break her. Tears rise instantly. She doesn't stop them. She has cried so much these past weeks that tears no longer surprise her. They come the way breathing comes, the way weather comes. She folds the jacket carefully and sets it aside. Then she opens the second box. Books Brandon read constantly. Philosophy, poetry, screenplays, novels, comic books, journals. He read the way some people breathe, naturally, urgently, as if there were always something he was still trying to understand. Near the top is a worn copy of the Crow graphic novel. Its pages are bent, softened by use. There are notebooks filled with his handwriting, ideas for films, fragments of dialogue, thoughts he intended to come back to later, stories he wanted to tell, projects he wanted to make, dreams that now end halfway through a sentence. Linda flips through one of the notebooks and runs her fingers over the ink, as if touching the page might somehow bring him closer. Then she opens the third box. This one is smaller, more personal. Photographs, letters, certificates from martial arts training when Brandon was young. A medal from a childhood tournament. A birthday card Linda gave him when he turned 21. He kept it. That hurts more than she expects. Not because it is dramatic, but because it is tender. Because he kept something so simple, a card from his mother, a small proof that love, once given, had mattered enough for him to say. At the very bottom of the box, wrapped in an old cloth, is something Linda doesn't recognize, a smaller box, wooden, aged. The wood is dark, nearly black with time. Chinese characters are carved into the lid. Linda lifts it carefully. It is not especially heavy, and yet it feels heavy. Not with weight, with meaning. She places it on the coffee table and opens it. Inside are things that belong to Bruce. Items she hasn't seen in 20 years. A pair of nunchaku he used in training. A small jade pendant he wore from time to time. A few photographs from Hong Kong, taken before they were married, before Hollywood, before the myth hardened around him, when he was simply a young martial artist with impossible ambition and absolute belief in himself. Linda stares at them in silence. Then she notices something beneath the objects. Wrapped carefully in layers of silk cloth is an envelope, old-fashioned, yellowed with age, fragile at the edges. Fragile at the edges. On the front, written in faded black ink, is one word: Brandon. Linda freezes. Her hands begin to shake. She knows this handwriting. She lived with it for 9 years. She saw it on notes left in the kitchen, on script pages, on letters Bruce sent while traveling, on scraps of paper beside the phone, on thoughts written quickly before they disappeared. This is Bruce's handwriting, a letter to Brandon. Linda's heartbeat quickens. How has she never seen this before? Bruce died in July 1973. Brandon was only 8 years old. Why would Bruce write a letter like this? Why did Brandon keep it hidden? Why was it wrapped in silk and stored like something sacred? Linda places the envelope back on the table because her hands are trembling too badly. She closes her eyes, takes a breath, tries to steady herself. Then she picks it up again. The old seal opens easily. Time has already done the work of loosening it. Inside is a single sheet of paper, folded once. She unfolds it carefully. At the top is a date, June 15, 1973, 1 month before Bruce died. Linda begins to read. My dear Brandon, if you are reading this, then I am no longer alive. I am writing this letter on June 15, 1973. You are 8 years old right now. You are in the backyard practicing the form I showed you this morning. I can see you through the window. You are trying so hard to make every movement exact, so serious, so focused. In moments like this, you look so much like I did as a boy that it startles me. I am not writing this because I am sick, and I am not writing it because I am afraid. I am writing it because life makes no promises. A man may live another 50 years. A man may die tomorrow. No one is told in advance which one it will be. And if I am not here when you become a man, there are things I need to leave with you. First, you do not have to become me. The world will try to place my name on your shoulders. It will ask you to carry expectations that were never yours. People will want you to be Bruce Lee's son before they allow you to simply be Brandon. They will compare you to me. They will expect strength, discipline, speed, greatness. They will expect strength, discipline, speed, greatness. They will ask you to live inside my shadow. Do not let them decide your life for you. If you choose martial arts, choose them because they speak to something true inside you. Choose them because movement gives you freedom, because training gives you peace, because the discipline becomes part of your spirit. Do not choose them for me. Do not choose them because the world expects it. And if your path is something else, writing, acting, music, teaching, or something no one around you understands, then follow that path with your whole heart. What matters is not what you become. What matters is whether the life you choose is honestly yours. Second, do not fear failure. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is a teacher, a hard one, sometimes a painful one, but a teacher all the same. I have failed many times. I have been rejected. I have been told I was too Chinese, too different, too small, too intense. I have made mistakes in my work, in my relationships, in my pride, in my relationships, in my pride. I have hurt people I cared about because I was too busy chasing ambition and wrestling with my own ego. If you fail, and you will, because every person who attempts anything meaningful fails, do not let it convince you that you are weak or unworthy. Let it sharpen you. Let it humble you. Let it teach you where you still need to grow. The greatest fighters are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who fall. Rise, fall again, and still rise once more. In the end, the rising is the victory. Third, be kinder to yourself than I have been to myself. I have spent much of my life driving myself beyond exhaustion. I criticize every mistake. I chase perfection as though perfection were a real place a man could find a lie reach, but perfection is a mirage. It can push you forward, yes, but it can also steal your joy. This drive has helped me succeed, but it has also made me tired. It has made me impatient. It has stolen moments from me, moments with you, with your sister, with your mother, because my mind was always on the next goal, the next achievement, the next mountain I thought I had to climb. So, work hard. Be disciplined. Chase excellence. Dream big. But do not become your own enemy in the process. Success means very little if, while achieving it, you lose your peace. Fourth, protect your family. Your mother is one of the strongest human beings I have ever known. She has stood beside me through everything. When the world doubted me, she believed in me. When I was angry, she gave me calm. When I lost perspective, she reminded me what mattered. If I am gone, honor her. Not because you must, but because she deserves. That she has given more than most people will ever see. And watch over your sister. The world will be harder on her because she is a girl. Teach her never to believe that strength belongs only to men. Make sure she knows that courage, discipline, and power live in women too. If you help her remember that, then you will have done something worthy. Finally, Brandon, I want to say something plainly, because men in our culture do not always say such things out loud. I love you. I do not love you for what you may achieve. I do not love you because of talent or strength or discipline. I love you because you are my son. I love you because you are my son. Because you exist. Because watching you grow has been one of the greatest honors of my life. Every morning when I train, I think about the world you will grow into. Every film I make, I hope that one day you will understand not just what I did, but why I did it. Every lesson I try to teach carries the hope that someday it may help guide you when I know low. Anjar Khan, I hope I live long enough to see you become a man. I hope I am there when you find love, when you discover your purpose, when you build a life that is fully yours. I hope I am there when you understand that being yourself is more powerful than becoming anyone else. But if I am not, if this letter reaches you because I left too soon, then remember this, above all else, you are enough. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. Do not spend your life trying to earn the right to be who you are. Do not live trapped beneath my name. Step out of my shadow and live in your own light. Be water, my son. Flow, adapt, change, become, but never lose the deepest truth of who you are. I am proud of you. I will always be proud of you. Your father, Bruce, by the time Linda reaches the signature, the page is blurred through tears. Drops have fallen onto the paper, darkening the faded ink. Darkening the faded ink. She doesn't move. Bruce wrote this letter 20 years ago, a month before his death, a father trying to leave behind what he feared he might not have time to say in person. And somehow, through all the years that followed, this letter remained hidden. Maybe Brandon found it later and kept it private. Maybe he read it in silence and never spoke of it. Maybe it was too painful, too intimate, too heavy to share. Linda doesn't know. What she does know is this. She is sitting in a quiet room, holding a letter from a dead husband to a dead son. And the weight of that truth is almost unbearable. She reads it again, then again. Every line hurts more the second time. You do not have to become me. But Brandon spent so much of his life trying to step out of Bruce's shadow. Everywhere he went, Bruce's name reached the room before he did. Every role, every interview, every opportunity came wrapped in the same burden. Bruce Lee's son. Never simply Brandon. Never all. Ode to arrive untouched by legacy. Do not fear failure. Brandon struggled through rejection, doubt, and the exhausting pressure of being compared to someone who had already become immortal. Some people wanted him because of his father. Others rejected him for the same reason. He questioned himself, wondered whether success, if it came, would ever truly belong to him. Be kinder to yourself. Linda had seen it clearly, the self-criticism, the pressure, the desperate need to prove that he deserved his place in the world. Not as Bruce's son, as himself. Protect your family. He did. He called her often. He visited when he could. He loved Shannon. He tried, in all the ways that mattered, to carry the people he loved with care. I love you. Linda presses her hand to her mouth. Did Brandon know that? Did Brandon know that? Did he truly know it? Bruce loved deeply, but he was not always a man who spoke tenderness openly. He showed love through effort, through teaching, through sacrifice, through pushing the people he loved towards strength. But here, on this page, the words are simple, clear, unhidden. I love you. I am proud of you. You are enough. Linda folds the letter carefully and places it back inside the envelope. Then she presses it to her chest and breaks. Not the quiet tears of recent grief, not the restrained crying of someone trying to survive. This is deeper than that. A raw, body-shaking sorrow that rises from somewhere beneath thought. The kind of grief that empties a person out. The kind that leaves no room for dignity, only pain. She cries for Bruce, who died at 32 and never got to watch his son become a man. She cries for Brandon, who spent so much of his life carrying a legacy that was both gift and burden. She cries for the cruelty of timing, for love written in time, discovered too late, understood after both the writer and the reader are gone. And she cries for herself because she has buried them both. Hours pass. The afternoon light begins to fade. Shadows stretch across the floor. The room grows dim. Still Linda sits there, holding the envelope. At last, she stands. She walks to the phone. She dials her daughter. When Shannon answers, Linda's voice is quiet and trembling. Shannon, I found something. Can you come over? Shannon arrives half an hour later. Linda says almost nothing. She simply hands her the letter. Shannon reads it. Linda watches her daughter's face change. Shock, grief, tenderness, disbelief. The same wound opening in another heart. When Shannon finishes, she lowers the paper slowly. He never showed me this, she says softly. Linda sits beside her. Maybe he was waiting for the right time, Linda says. Shannon stares at the letter for a long moment. Or maybe, she says quietly, he couldn't bear to read it too closely. Because if he really did, then he'd have to accept that Dad knew he might die. That maybe Dad was already saying goodbye. Neither of them speaks after that. The silence between them is full of memory. Two women sitting together on a couch, a widow, a daughter. Both love Bruce Lee. Both love Brandon Lee. Both left behind to hold the fragments. Finally, Linda makes a decision. I'm going to publish it. Shannon looks up. Shannon looks up. Are you sure? Linda looks down at the envelope in her hands. Yes? Why? Because people think they know who Bruce was? Linda says. They know the fighter, the legend, the icon, but they don't know this man, the father, the husband, the human being who worried about his son and wanted him to be free. Shannon's eyes fill with tears again. People will cry, she says. Linda nods once. Good, she answers. Let them. 3 months later, the letter is published in a martial arts magazine. Then newspapers pick it up. Then television. Soon it spreads far beyond martial arts. Across America, across Asia, across Europe, around the world. Millions of people read Bruce Lee's words to Brandon, and millions are moved by them, not only because both men are gone, but because the letter reveals something even greater than fame. Vulnerability, not weakness, love spoken honestly. For many people, the letter becomes more powerful than Bruce's fights, more intimate than his films, more revealing than his interviews, because it shows the man behind the myth, a father aware that life is fragile, a man trying, in private, to give his son what every child longs for, unconditional love and permission to become himself. People do not only cry for Bruce and Brandon, they cry for themselves, for fathers who never said what they felt, for sons who spent years trying to earn love that had been there all along, for conversations postponed, for letters never written, for words buried under pride, silence, masculinity, culture, or fear. The letter becomes unforgettable because it says something universal. The people we love may not be here tomorrow. What must be said should be said now, not later, not when life calms down, not when the timing feels perfect. Now, Bruce Lee understood that in 1973, he wrote the words, but he didn't deliver them. Maybe he thought there would be more time. Maybe he believed Brandon was still too young. Maybe he wanted to wait until his son was older, until the message could be fully understood. But time did what time always does. It closed. First on Bruce. First on Bruce. Then, years later, on Brandon. And all that remained was this letter, a single page, yellowed paper, fading ink, a father's love, preserved too late to save, but not too late to matter they can. So even delayed love can still teach. Even unfinished words can still heal. Even grief, when shared, can become truth. In the end, Bruce Lee's letter to Brandon was never only for Brandon. It became a message for everyone. Say it while you can. Write the letter. Make the call. Tell the people you love that you love them. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because life does not promise one. And if you wait too long, all that may remain is silence and the unbearable weight of everything you meant to say.